Hey everybody, it's Jen Sheffer here, and today's tutorial is going to cover how to use the Jamboard app on your iPad. Jamboard is an excellent tool for digital collaboration, whether it's an entire class or small groups of students. It's highly intuitive, clean and simple in design, and it is a great way to get your students focused on the learning, provide structure for your online lessons, and I hope that you will give this tool a try in your classroom. Prior to using Jamboard, I would encourage you to have a conversation with your students about your expectation for their behavior online when using Jamboard and what the consequences will be in the event that they do not follow your expectations. So it's a great way to incorporate real-life digital citizenship education that is meaningful and purposeful for students. So once they clearly understand your expectations and how they are to behave when they're in a Jamboard, you can get started. So to create one, you're going to tap on the Jamboard icon and it's going to open. Any existing Jamboards that you've created will be shown here, or any ones that you've made a copy of will be located here in your BPS account. To create your own, you're going to tap on the plus sign on the bottom right. It's going to open up a blank frame. Jamboards can have additional frames. If you tap on the one at the top, you can just simply tap on the plus sign to add multiple frames for your Jamboard. You can create one for each student. You could create however many you need if students are using group, if you're putting students in groups. And this is, again, a great way to get them working in groups because they are really craving that, and so are we as teachers. So once we've added however many frames we need, we can start working on our Jamboard. If we need to delete a frame, we can simply tap on it, tap on the three dots, and hit delete. So that's how we would add or delete frames in Jamboard. Very intuitive and simple. So I'm going to tap on slide 1 or frame 1. And before I do that, I also want to show you some background options. So if we tap on background, we have the ability to have lined paper if it's a lesson on writing that we want to focus on. We have some graph paper if we're doing any type of graphing lesson. And we have either navy or black for a colored background. I'm just going to go ahead and make this white and head back over onto my tools. The first tool that is selected by default is the marker tool. When I tap on it, a menu appears. I have primary colors to choose from, and I have different pen widths to choose from as well. So if I just did a quick math problem, it would be, that is the width of that pen. You'll see the difference between that first marker and the second, slightly thicker line. Then I have the ability to have a highlighter. So if students needed to highlight a passage, or you wanted them to do some annotation, or if you yourself during your instruction wanted to do that, we have two highlighter options. One is slightly darker than the other. So you can see here what those marker tools look like. The next area of Jamboard I'd like to show are the assistive drawing tools, and I really liked these. So before I do that, however, I'm going to go back really quick, and I'm going to tap on the eraser underneath the marker, and I'm going to clear the contents of the frame. I'm going to head back over to the marker now, and I'm going to go back to those assistive drawing tools. I'm going to make this black. When I tap on assistive drawing, one of the huge advantages of Jamboard is using the assistive text tool. Once this loads, you'll see that we are able to take our handwritten text from our iPad, just go back to that, and it will convert it automatically into typed font. So this is going to be a huge time saver for students who may struggle with typing, or students who may struggle with their penmanship. So when I tap on that, I'm going to start writing. The main idea is, and as you can see, this predicts what I'm typing and it converts it into typed font. So this is a huge time saver for students, and I hope that excites you, because I know that making the most efficient use of your time is a priority. So that is the assistive text tool. You'll notice if I drag down this font, I can delete it. I can just empty it right into the trash at the bottom. There is an undo button at the very bottom right, so I can bring that text back. So when I tap on the arrow, which is the third tool down, I can select this text box. If I tap on the three dots, I can duplicate or delete that text, and I can also bring it to the front or send it to the back if I'm dealing with multiple elements on my frame. I'm going to go back into the assistive drawing menu, and I'm going to show you the next one are shapes. So if you wanted to design something simple, maybe we want to do supporting details, and we want students to put in 3 supporting details, I can draw a shape. Now, that kind of angled my shape just a bit, so I can undo. I'm going to go back to that, try to draw my rectangle there. Now it's perfect. Okay, so as you can see, you can build something really quickly as a teacher. Again, I hope this is making you say, yep, Jamboard is something I want to try because I can do this fast. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to hit duplicate. So now I have 3. I'm going to move my main idea up just a bit. So now I have 3 rectangles for my students to write their supporting details. So I could add some text, go back to my assistive drawing tool, go to text, and I can say detail number 1. I can shrink this down. And as you can see, quickly duplicate the word detail, drag it into the appropriate box. So I can make this as simple or as complex as I want as I'm designing it. The next thing I want to show you is in the assistive drawing menu is the actual assistive drawing tool. So when I tap on the drawing, this is going to take a drawing that I'm making, and it's going to predict what I'm drawing. So I'm just going to demonstrate this actually on slide 2. So I have a clean slide to show you what I mean by this. So let's just say my students were reading the raft, and there are a lot of animals in the raft. It's going to give me at the bottom, you can see a whole selection of possible choices. So there's a raccoon in that story, so I'm going to tap on that. So you don't have to be the most talented artist. You can simply start drawing, and it's going to predict what you're drawing. So if you were reading nursery rhymes, if you're reading fairy tales and there was a castle, possibilities are endless, and I think students will love this once they see the capabilities and the opportunities to do some predictive drawing. So I think they'd have a lot of fun and get really engaged in the learning through that simple tool. The other thing I want to show you, I'm just going to go back, keep that raccoon. Let's just say we were talking about the raft. If I go back into, now I'm actually going to jump down to the plus sign. And I think most of us are familiar with sticky notes. If we add a sticky note, we could put our name. We can have the students add their name. They can actually tap on the icon there, the color icon, to change the color of that sticky note if necessary. And that would get added to the screen. I'm just going to add that real quick. I'll say name. Hit the check mark. I can drag this over. I can make these sticky notes as large or as small as I need to just by pulling on that handle. The 3 dots will allow me, if I tap on 3 dots, I can send to back or bring it to the front if I needed to. I can edit, duplicate, and delete the sticky note. The other thing I want to show you in that plus is the plus sign is images. I was not aware that there is actual an image search built right into the Jamboard app. So if I'm reading the raft, I search the word raft, and I have all these images that appear. And again, once students learn about how they can use this tool, I think they will get really excited and have the ability to create some really interesting Jamboards based on whatever topic you're studying. And it's not just for elementary. This could be used in middle and high school extensively. So the raft story, actually, this picture here actually reminds me a bit of that book. So I could bring it in onto my frame. If I tap on the three dots, I have to just remember to select the image by the selector tool. If I tap on the image, again, I can duplicate, delete, send to back or front. Go back to that plus sign real quick. I can pull items in from Drive. I think that's self-explanatory. I can open the camera right from within the app itself, and I can take pictures, and I can pull in images that I've saved. So if I, again, was doing the raft, here's an image from the raft. So if I'm making a Jamboard for my students, I can save images to my iPad and I can pull them in. So if we were doing, say, a character analysis on Nikki from the raft, I could pull in images from the book. So the students could respond to the character analysis if that's what we were doing. If I tap on the plus sign, while we're here, unrelated to this example, but I do want to show you that there are stickers. So there's thumbs up and thumbs down. That could be used to just build a really quick formative assessment. How did you feel about this lesson? Do you understand it? Do you get it? Could you teach it to someone else? Or the thumbs down, I really need some help. I don't understand this. The X and the check mark too, that could also be used as a quick check for understanding, quick poll and get a pulse on where your students are at with their learning and how they're feeling about the objective and if they're achieving that learning goal. The bottom here, you can see there's some outlines of some columns or shapes that you could use, some call out banners, and these might be suitable for the purpose of your lesson. So when you're ready to share this Jamboard, you can tap on the three dots. You can copy the link, and I have another tutorial that shows you exactly how you can share this both in Seesaw and in Google Classroom, whichever platform you may be using for your digital instruction. But again, I am really hoping that you will give this a try and reach out to me or any member of the BPS EdTech team if you'd like us to work with you on facilitating a digital lesson using Jamboard. We would love to do that with you. And again, gather some meaningful formative assessment data on your students and their learning, and give them the opportunity to collaborate with their peers in a digital space where they can stay focused and keeping them engaged in their learning as we continue on this school year. So I appreciate you watching this tutorial. Please let me know if there are any other videos you'd like me to make. I will continue to push out content that I think will be helpful to you. And I appreciate your time and spending some professional development learning time with me. And I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.